If you want to perform a t-test in Microsoft Excel, you will have to install an additional tool. If you go to the File menu and Options, we can go to this menu here, this tab, Additional Tools, and we'll choose Analysis Tool here. And OK. Or rather, not OK, but let's see. Click Start. So alternatives, additional tools, analysis tool, and then start. And you can just click the box here and OK. That should be more or less it. OK, so I have another menu here all of a sudden. It's called Data Analysis. So I can choose the data set. OK, so once you've entered the data set, you can just mark it sample 1, sample 2, just write a few notes to explain to yourself what you're doing. So a t-test and your null hypothesis is that the means of the two samples are equal. Your alternative hypothesis is that the means are unequal. Just mark your data, go to data analysis, and then we're going to do a t-test. So t-test, so we'll just assume that the variance are the same. This is the same as pooled variance on the Casio calculator. So two samples where we assume that the variance is the same. And then click OK. Okay, now it asks us to mark the data. So okay, we don't have to do that at first. So the first variable, okay, let's make that sample 1. And the second variable, sample 2. So we'll put in this. Okay, so this is column A, this is column B. Now, presumed standard deviation. This is really the assumption that this is where we put in our null hypothesis. So the null hypothesis, the assumption here is that there is no difference between the means. The means are the same. So if we put in 0 here, we're basically putting in our null hypothesis. Now you can ignore this, but the alpha here, that's your that's the significance level. And for the most part, t-tests are done at a 5% significance level. The outgoing data field, that's just going to be a single cell. So we can just see. Oh yeah, we can just mark a cell that we want to use for the outgoing data. So okay, this cell here, this is where our test result will show up. And click OK. And this is what we get. Putting a bit more space between the columns here. But we can recognize this number here, 0.00392. So this is the same as the p-value we found on the Casio. And so this is what it's called in Excel. Now this was a two-tailed test, and this is the p-value. So this is how you can recognize it. We don't have to worry about the t-value, it's the p-value we're going to use in the t-test, and we can compare it to our chosen significance level. And this is indeed smaller than 0.005. So the conclusion here is that we reject the null hypothesis and we accept, okay, that there is a difference between the mean. The means are not equal. These populations are different. So that's how you do a t-test in Microsoft Excel.